What's up, guys? I got another Alliance War video for you. In this Alliance War video, we'll be going up against GORE. This is actually the first Alliance War of Season 4. I'll be going path 6 to 7 this war. This first node is Unblockable L1, Aggression, Fury, and Limber. So I will be max boosting because it is the season. So it's a 6-star Cosmic. I was expecting a King Groot because of Aggression Fury, but it turns out being a Black Bolt. So in the beginning of the fight, I want to try and build up a few poise charges, but also not let him build up too many of those Furies. So I'm doing a decent job of that. I do bait out this L1. I just want to get to an L2 of my own and drop my L2. I know that'll be enough, and that's what I do. So yeah, that Black Bolt went down pretty quick. So this next node is Bane, Enhanced Abilities, and Stun Immunity. It's a 6-star skill. I've never seen a 6-star skill on this node. I didn't really know who it could be. It does turn out to be a Kingpin, a 6-star Kingpin. So I brought my Spark in here. I usually try and build max poise charges here, but before I hit him, before Bane starts. But I saw an opening. He threw his heavy in the beginning, so I did hit him and start Bane. And I don't push him to an L1 because I saw that Bane was transferring, and I was able to switch Bane really well. So once again, I get a couple more combos on him, drop my L1, and that Kingpin does go down. So this next node is node 24. It is a 5-star mutant, and it doesn't have persistent charges, so it's not a Sabertooth. Usually when it's a mutant on this node, it turns out to be a Sabertooth. So yeah, node 24, Buffet, Limber, and something, maybe Recovery. Turns out being a rank 4 rogue. I guess this is okay placement. I mean, it didn't catch me off guard. Rogue isn't really that hard of a defender, but I could see where she could be tricky on this node with the Limber on this node and her Limber already, pretty much her Sig ability. She actually I blocked the L1. And I forgot all about the life transfer, and she did steal some of my life. She did gain some health, and then I was thinking, I was like, wait, with Rogue, if I let her like block hit me on purpose when I have Fear the Void and Petrify debuffs on her, I was wondering if that would trigger the reverse healing, but I don't think it will. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I get her down even without Fear the Void coming up. I got a really weird intercept right there. That's why I didn't go a full 5-hit combo there. But one more L1, and it is enough to get that Rogue down. I've never fought Rogue on that node, and to be honest, it wasn't really a hard fight. So this next node is the Buffet mini boss. It is a rank 4 Domino. So I wanted to bring my Spark in this fight, just to be extra safe. Sometimes with Void, Domino can shrug off Void's Fear the Void, so I didn't want to bring Void into this, so I brought my Spark. So in the beginning of the fight, I do want to try and build up a couple poise charges while also not getting back into the wall too much. And this Domino, she's being pretty lenient with her heavies. I am baiting those out. I always forget. I don't forget, but I usually just bait out the heavies. I don't really do that medium trick too much. Maybe I should start doing that more. Anyway, I'm block hitting her a decent amount just to keep her back on her side. I like to bait out Domino's L2 as opposed to baiting out her L1. So that's what I do right here. And then the Unfazed Mastery kicked in right there. It was nuts, and she went unstoppable. I dropped my L2. It took off a ton of health. Once again, the Unfazed Mastery triggers on, and she was unstoppable again, and I was able to get her down. The end of that fight was crazy. It was crazy with her going unstoppable, and I don't know, but she went down. So this next node is node 38, Aggression, Armor, and a couple other things I forget. So this is the node that a lot of alliances like to place Iron Man Infinity War, but it was a rank 3, so I knew it wasn't going to be him. It actually turns out to be a Red Skull, and in the beginning of this fight, I was like, oh crap, new champ. What's this guy's specials again? And I remembered Red Skull's L1 is pretty easy, extremely easy to evade and retaliate. So that's what I'm going to do. This whole fight is just evade his L1s, try not to push him to his L2, because I don't really remember what his L2 looks like. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of beams. I don't know. I fought Red Skull a decent amount in the event quest, so I was pretty comfortable with his L1. So I got the debuff applied to him. I think Red Skull has, this is pretty good placement, I guess. I mean, Red Skull isn't really too good of a defender, but I think he has some type of armor up, and this is an enhanced armor node, so pretty decent placement. But Void's debuffs is eating through the armor, and that Red Skull does go down. So this next node is node 42. It's the recovery node, and it is an unduped skill. And my alliance mates were like, yeah, that might be a Korg, that might not be a Korg. So I sent them over screenshots of the PI and all that. They're like, yeah, it's definitely not Korg. So I'm like, all right, I'm definitely going in with Spark, and it's a Korg. Luckily this Korg is unduped, so I won't be taking any Thorns damage from him. I have not dueled a Korg or anything. I've been out of the loop with Korg. This is the first time I've ever fought him, this fight, so yeah. I've seen his L1, but I've never fought a Korg except for this fight, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to rely heavily on my parries. I do drop this L2, and it doesn't crit at all, and then he starts regenerating from this recovery node or arc overload node. So at this point, I'm like, crap, I'm probably going to time out. And a couple of my alliance mates, they were telling me, yeah, make sure you don't evade back and don't block hit Korg, or else he goes unblockable. His specials go unblockable and unstoppable. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to build too many poise charges. I'm trying to just stay alive versus this guy. I've never fought him before, and I'm not too familiar with him at all. But I'm gonna make sure I duel him a ton. So he does go unstoppable here, and he does clip me, unfortunately. And I am at an L2, and I realize I'm like 2 minutes, more than a minute has gone by, and I'm like, all right, I'm definitely going to time out. So let me just try and build poise charges. He does clip me with that L1. It was unblockable. I do drop my L2 before I go red. Then the recovery node kicks on again, and I got a minute and a half left in this fight. I'm like, oh crap. I'm definitely in timeout territory, but luckily I do drop my L2, and his rock shield wasn't up, and one of my L2s, one hit from my L2 crit really well. So yeah, I do get. Thank God this Korg wasn't duped, and thank God I'm not taking any of the thorn damage. If I knew it was Korg, I would have brought my Void. But yeah, I do have 4 poise charges up, and he does have 3 of those orange buffs, whatever those are. And I do drop my L2, and it was enough to get him down. Thank God I didn't time out there. But yeah, I got to make sure I'm more keen on scouting out those Korgs. So this next node is the right to center mini boss. This is the strike back mini boss. This node also has recovery and champion boost on it. It is a 6-star duped Rag Thor. I wonder how good this Thor's prestige is at rank 125 or whatever. But anyway, I brought Void in because Void's petrified debuffs cancel out the strike back node. So with Thor Rag, when he gets to his when you hit him 20 times, he gets a power gain, and to shut that power gain off, you have to throw a special, and this is a strike back node, so when you throw a special, the defender gains a bar of power, so this is pretty good placement. So I pushed him to 9, I got 19 hits on him. He has just threw his special, and I knew I was going to be able to throw my special and shut off his power gain before he went red. And unfortunately, I do get clipped by the tail end of his L2 right there. And yeah, this is a pretty easy fight with Void. You just gotta wait for the petrified debuffs to come on. And unfortunately, actually my last 2 debuffs to apply are the petrified debuffs. So the RNG on this fight were pretty crappy. That's why I'm holding to my L2s, because None of my petrified debuffs were on. So I do drop this L2, once again, shut off his power gain phase, and also don't push him red with that strike back node. And the debuff damage is doing a ton of damage to this Thor. I finally get a petrified debuff on him, and then once again I get clipped by the tail end of his L2. I gotta practice more against his L2, I guess. But I finally have 2 petrifies. I'm gotta get Fear the Void. And once I have Fear the Void on, this fight should be relatively over, which it is. I do bait out one more L1 and then get one more hit on him, and then just let the debuff damage kill him. So yeah, man, first war of season 4. Big shout out to GORE. We did win this war. Congratulations to all the MVPs. I hope you guys like this Alliance War video. Till the next one. Peace.